For months, fans and players noticed something was wrong with Caitlin Clark, the fiery young star who has taken the WNBA by storm. However, now that the referee was caught on camera focusing on Caitlin making one biased call after another, the WNBA is incensed and wondering if this is just bad officiating or if there is something more sinister going on. If you're enthusiastic about seeing justice served in the world of sports, press the subscribe button and stay tuned to find out. Before November 30th, I want to achieve 1,000 subscribers. By working together, we can continue to push for openness and the truth. Let's now examine this startling topic. The WNBA season was heating up, and Caitlin Clark, who is known for her daring plays and long three-pointers, was having an incredible rookie season. Fans watched her every night to see what she would do next, the clutch shots, the hustle, and her unrivaled passion for the game. However, as Caitlin's performances became must-watch TV, something sinister began to occur. As fans watched her smash records and leave opponents reeling, they also began to notice an unsettling pattern. In what seemed to be a planned, almost personal assault, one official specifically targeted Caitlin. To set the picture, the game was very close, and Caitlin's team was down by 2 when she made her trademark run to the hoop. She is quick, controlled, and flawless in her movements, but when the whistle suddenly blew, Caitlin was called for a charge even though the replay showed that she had barely touched her defender. Her teammates looked at one another in shock, and even the commentators were confused, wondering why such a call was made at such a crucial moment. This wasn't the first time it had happened. Caitlin herself started noticing it over and over. Questionable calls followed her like a shadow, disrupting her flow and leaving her visibly frustrated. Other players get their share of calls. Of course, it's basketball, it happens. But with Caitlin, it was different. In game after game, it seemed like any aggressive move she made was met with a whistle. Fans who followed her career began questioning it. And when footage started circulating online, it became clear that Caitlin was indeed the focus of this referee's attention. The footage was damning. In one clip, we see Caitlin setting up a screen completely clean and well within her rights. And yet the referee's gaze is locked on her even before she makes her move. He seems primed and ready to blow the whistle. When she pivots, he immediately calls her for a travel, even though her footwork was spotted. In another clip, Caitlin is visibly avoiding contact with her opponent, playing her signature, fast-paced but controlled game, and yet she's whistled for a foul. The calls were not just excessive, they were unfair and targeted. Fans began breaking down the video frame by frame on social media, and hashtags like #NumberJustice for Caitlin quickly gained popularity. Fans of WNBA Fair Play to Trend were furious, feeling as though they were witnessing an unfair battle, and the clamor only increased when former players and sports analysts started to voice their opinions. They began to question the officiating standards, and more crucially, whether the WNBA had any mechanism in place to review referees who appeared biased or incompetent. However, let's take a moment to consider the wider ramifications of this. Being unfairly targeted is not just a personal issue. It is a problem for all WNBA fans, especially those who are new to the league and want to believe in the integrity of the game. If they begin to believe that certain players are being targeted or that games aren't officiated fairly, they will lose trust, and trust is crucial in a league that is expanding like the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is a young athlete who has brought a whole new level of excitement to the WNBA. Her presence alone has attracted new fans to the sport, and she is already a household name. Caitlin was understandably upset since her drive and competitive spirit make her an exciting player to watch, but they also make this unjust treatment difficult to accept because she has worked hard to earn her spot in the WNBA, and all she wants is a fair chance. During a post-match interview, finally, Caitlin addressed the matter in a nuanced but impactful manner, saying, "It's tough out there," in a frustrated tone. "All we want is to play our best and help our team win, but on certain nights, it seems like more people are on the floor than just the other squad." Fans weren't persuaded and demanded that the WNBA reveal the referee's history. asking whether he had similar issues with other players. Rumors started to circulate that this referee had a history of targeting star players in the past, though these claims haven't been verified. Nevertheless, her measured words sent a strong message that she wasn't going to take this lying down. As the controversy gained traction, the WNBA was forced to respond, issuing an official statement stating that they would be reviewing the footage and addressing any inconsistencies in officiating standards. Fans began submitting petitions calling for Caitlin to be treated fairly and the referee in question to be held accountable. Some fans even went so far as to speculate that referees were swayed by gambling interests, which shocked the sports community even though there is no proof for this theory. Fans' faith in the league's fairness has been severely damaged by this incident, while other WNBA players rallied behind Caitlin Soubier. A WNBA legend tweeted her support, stating that young players like Caitlin represent the league's future and should be treated with respect and fairly. Since they understood what it was like to fight for respect in a league where women's sports still fight for equality, Caitlin's support from both former and current teammates was overwhelming. They wanted to make sure that this incident would mark a turning point for the WNBA's officiating standards. So where do we go from here? Fans are calling for significant reforms, and the WNBA is now under tremendous pressure to set things right. They want a review system that holds referees accountable, and some are even calling for a system where officials are rotated on a regular basis to prevent any one referee from developing biases against players. It's a complicated issue, but it's one that's vital to the league's future. As for Caitlin Clark, she's made it clear that she's not backing down despite the frustration. She's continued to play her heart out, putting up impressive stats and maintaining her focus on the game. She's not just a young talent anymore. She's a symbol of strength and resilience for fans who believe in fair play. Referees have enormous power to shape the flow and outcome of games. When that power is abused or becomes biased, it threatens the very foundation of sportsmanship. Fans want a fair game, players want respect, and the league must make sure that these values are upheld if it hopes to continue growing and drawing in new fans. Caitlin's story has become a rallying cry for change, and if the WNBA handles this properly, it could usher in a new era of transparency and fairness in women's basketball. Now that the WNBA is at a crossroads, the league has a fantastic chance to demonstrate to its players and supporters that it values honesty, justice, and respect. However, how they respond to the Caitlin Clark scandal will determine whether they gain or lose that trust. So let's keep up the pressure and demand transparency. If you share my desire to see justice done and the truth revealed, Caitlin's narrative serves as a reminder that fairness is a right, not a luxury. Click the subscribe button to follow along with me as we discuss this and a ton of other stories.